Are we there? Are we there? Yes, I think we are. And right there. So on time. So on time. It's a bit dark.
This one out? So,
No, please. I'm already live. So if you need some earphones, it's a good time to ask for that. I don't like my lighting today.
Why?
I don't know why I don't like my lighting.
No matter that you are by the way you are kama jua.
Boom light.
I can't get any moonlight though.
Yeah, because I don't like the lighting today. It's just so weird for me.
Your merchant change because I'm not feeling
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Warm welcome. This is QTV by Lizzie Joga. Who is there? Who is there with me? Let's see. I think I need a couple of minutes. Guys, today I have people in the house as I'm doing this live broadcast. So if you see me distracted, I apologize in advance. It's your girl, Lizzie Joga. The topic of the day is opening a company in Dubai, like getting a license inside United Arab Emirates. Now, a lot of people have been disturbing me with DMs the whole week when I give an idea of how it's going to be like. And I'd like to request the people in the background, please be calm for me. Guys, I'm having people in the house. So it's a very different audience today. So nonetheless, I'm going to give you all the information that you need as far as opening a company in Dubai is concerned. Now, to the people that I drive out of my inbox is because I wanted you to come here on live with me today so that all information is shared, is disseminated, and you get everything that you need to know. If there is any questions that you are interested to ask, of course I will try my best to respond to them immediately. The ones that I don't know about, as usual, I always request for your patience to try and research and then come right back to you with a response. So first things first, do we wait a couple of more minutes? Is there anybody there? At least give me a yes, give me a no, so that we know what's going on. Anybody there? Can you hear me all? I didn't see Lucy here today. Lucy is not here today. It feels different. It feels strange. All right. Nonetheless, we can start with the people that we have here on. My notes here is all about starting a company inside Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And pretty much to have a business, all you need is a license. Now, what does a license mean? A license simply is explained in the layman's language as a permit to operate a company within an entity. So it doesn't matter if it's United Arab Emirates, it doesn't matter if it's your own home country, it does not really matter, provided that you have done all the legal procedures to operate any kind of business. Now, inside Dubai, United Arab Emirates, there is two types of trade licenses, or there is two types of company setups, one being the free zone or the limited liability, and another one being the mainline. So I'm going to very quickly disintegrate it for you. I'm going to define for you what each one of them stands for. Now, the free zone is the one that has limited paperwork, or a little less paperwork compared to the mainline, of which most of the big companies and institutions go for the mainland. The free zone is the types that individuals like you and I can actually have, and that is what personally I do have, and that is the reason for the title that we have here today, that Black Girl went from being fired to owning a company. And this is a realistic, real life situation of something that has happened right in this year within this very pandemic of coronavirus. So we are still in the year of 2020. Today is 31st October, if I'm not wrong, and we are tackling opening a company in Dubai. Now, you may be a lot more interested, of course, if you are planning or hoping to one day own a company inside this country. And I can tell you for sure, it's something very, very doable. It's something very affordable. And it's something that you can actually start to dream about, because yes, you can actually do it. You can actually own it. Like me, it did not materialize until that point when Emirates told me we no longer require your services anymore. And I woke up to the reality. I was like, damn, I can't do this. So I turned my downfall into a success story. And I'm here today trying to show you the possibilities of the same, how you can do it, what is the process to go, how to achieve whatever you want to achieve as far as opening a company within United Arab Emirates is concerned. So setting up a free zone company is a lot more easier because the paperwork is required is less. And what do you need to have to set up a free zone company? First of all, you need to determine the type of legal entity. The legal entity means what nature of business are you starting. The second thing that you need is to choose a trade name. This is very important because you may be surprised that all the names that you fancy have already been grabbed by somebody else who came before you did. The other thing is you apply for the license, of which we are going to focus majorly on the process for the licensing, and then you choose an office space. You cannot use anything residential to run a company within United Arab Emirates. It's said to be illicit for the purpose of not using the term illegal, but of course people are still doing it anyway. You may always, or you must always get those people that beat the system, and then getting the approvals. Now, getting the approvals and applying for the license is pretty much almost on the same level, and you may be surprised that owning the money, getting the money, having a business idea, projecting it, going to the relevant departments to set up the company, you still need approval. I mean, if they don't feel convinced with your presentation, if they don't feel convinced with your academics, if they don't feel convinced with your profile overall, they may deny you the opportunity to start a specific type of business, no matter how proficient you are on it. It's something that I saw face to face. I met when I was trying to do my entire procedure. There was a lady, she's from Ethiopia, and she was trying to open up something. I don't know exactly what it was, but I remember she waited for a while and she got it not approved. In short, they are saying we are not happy with your output in the future. It means your presence can tell us what the future is going to be like, and therefore we do not give you the authorization to start this business. It's like from the inception, they can see a disappointment and they act with it accordingly. Now we look at the number of the type of licenses that are available. There is the general trading. What is entailed here? In a general trading is whereby you get a shop, all your malls like the Al Madina supermarkets. All these are general tradings. They all involve having a commodity to be exchanged in for money. So most of the time is shop based, is shop like, you know, the kind of setting for supermarkets. It's the best example to use for general trading. And then there is contracting. This is where all the arbabs, this is where all our learned friends in forms of architects try to get people for cheap labor. In terms of contractors, you know, those laborers, all of them fall in contracting. Now, contracting may be large scale, may be small scale. Contracting is just contracting, and it's better if we leave it at that. And then there is real estate, where a lot of people have also jumped in because it has become a lot easier for people to do real estate, because they don't need to really have an asset, they don't really need to have anything. All they do is approach developers and say, let's say if it's Emar, let's say if it's Danube Home, if it's Nakil, whichever developer they go to, whichever landlords they go to, whichever owners they go to, whether it's the first owner or second owner, all they do is approach and say, we like your property, please allow us to sell it on your behalf. And true, they are doing a good job, and they deserve their round of applause for this. And the next one is the transportation. So in the transportation, it has not RTA bus, but all this official transporting. Like you may see the school buses, it's not like the bus necessarily belongs to the school. It could be a setup whereby a school contracts another transport company and say, we indemnify the children in your hands, and you must make sure they come to school on time and return home on time. And the children, of course, pay for the transportation through the school. And the next one is healthcare. Now in healthcare, there's clinics, there is all types of healthcare facilities you may think of. They all fall in this type of license. And then there is another one, which is agricultural. Now I did not really think you need this one, but I got to learn because I was extra curious. I knew that after doing my own license, I would be interested to do a feature like the one I'm doing now. So I also inquired about the agricultural license, of which this one is more monopolized, if I can use that word. It is monopolized by the government because there is not so many independent or individual farmers who are working here within United Arab Emirates. You may find a lot of the greenhouses or a lot of the plantations or farmyards are actually owned by the government, either government owned or parastatals or affiliate of the government. It's not very easy to find independent farmers. At least that is what I know of so far. Within the years I've stayed in United Arab Emirates, the kind of approaches and researches I have been doing with people, I got to understand that there is not much. And then there is a craftsmanship. On craftsmanship, basically these are for the handy people, for the people who work with their hand, whether they're blacksmiths, whether they are carpenters, whether they are painters. Everything that requires you to apply your handwork, this falls under the craftsmanship. It falls under the craftsmanship license, of which it has to be attested, in the sense that they need to know that you are going for the right thing and you can indeed deliver the kind of services that you are promising the people. And then there is a professional license. Round of applause for all of us who fall in this category. So you may be educated or not, you may be talented or not, you may be anything that you want to be. This license will not discriminate upon you. So if you are an acrobat and you want to go and say, I'm an acrobat and I want to operate in a legal manner, nobody will stop you, because the acrobat is your profession. If you are a mascot, for example, the ones who wear the big things for the children, for face painting, for all of that, it all falls under professional license. Now, for the purpose of your curiosity, I indeed fall in this category, and later on in the bulletin I'm going to tell you what exactly I am about, and with the hope that of course you will be patronizing my business later on. Now let's go to the process. I have 2 separate pages of that, and it's quite lengthy, but I will try my best to have this live session in under 30 minutes. I realize the previous ones have been very, very long, and today I just want to, compress it as much as possible. I just want to deliver in the shortest time possible so that you people are not bored from viewing this video, and also you may be interested to come back in the future bulletins, because you will be assured that your time is not going to be for waste. Now personally, I think having a trade license in the free zone is the most ideal, because of the paperwork is less, and the other thing is that it takes shorter time, and most of the time the approvals are guaranteed, as opposed to when you go for a mainland and have to wait for your approvals for such a long time, and the delivery is almost at zero. You know, the delivery, when I say the delivery is almost at zero, is that there is no guarantee that the Dubai economy will approve of the type of service that you aim to provide within your company. Now, what is the procedure? Now, first of all, you have to apply through the Dubai economy. There is a lot of AMER centers, of which you need one local person to go on with you, and these local people you only get to pay them for using their names, in terms of hi, please come on and join me on live. Quit chatting me on other channels. Please come and join me on this other side. Please come and join me on this other side. Quit chatting me on any other platform. Join me on live. I would really appreciate that. Now, in case of approval is not received, then you need to select another activity. Now, in any professional license, you are permitted to do a minimum at least 3 activities, of which they normally try to make them as close to each other as possible. I think I have some here. My passport is right here, and my visa is of course out with the status, of course, you know, investor. So there's something I wanted to show you here. I don't know if it is in this specific paper or it's somewhere else. I think it's not here, but it would have been great so that you see that here now online. But where was I? Okay, once you apply and are ready to go on with your license, you get to select the activities that you want, and they take that for approval. The activities must be at least 3 activities. Let's say you are going for consultancy. You may choose consultancy with other related professions, some things that are close to each other. If you go for media and say I do video editing, so you will take video editing, video taking at events, videography, photography. You know, it has to be things close to each other. If you pick, let's say, a beautician, you should be someone who can do nails, who can do hair, who can do facials, who can do therapy and stuff like that. So most of them, they are already pre-arranged in a manner that you cannot really go out of your scope, except you want to have 2 licenses all together. Now, you cannot also have 2 licenses at the same time. You have to wait for a space of 6 months. This is something that I learned, and these are for those entrepreneurs. These are for those people that have a lot of money and just want to invest at the same time. No, there is a waiting period which you will be subjected to, and this has got to be at least 6 months. Even within your company, let's say you select a company whereby you can have 10 employees under your belt, you will be allowed to have the 10 employees. If you have a need to have a new visa, then you have an option to up or to upgrade your license. Now, this also can happen only after 6 months. Now, take note of this. It's not something that you can just wake up. This also will be subject to approval. And you know, if you grow it so fast, the Dubai economy will be suspicious, and they may want to take an audit of you, especially if you go for different kind of license, like let's say cleaning services. You know, cleaning services is a very sensitive one, assuming you go for cleaning and you start a cleaning company whereby you supply cleaners or people that washes the window or something like that. You will be required to provide labor card for all these people. You will be required to provide health insurance. You will be required to prove sufficient consistency, because there is some types of profession that you must show that you must at least be able to provide 3 months of salary in case of any eventuality. And you also need to give a different type of insurance that is not medical. It's an insurance for risk. I don't know if it's something like continuity or something like that. And they may also want to see where your staff are staying. Now, this is among the headaches that I'm currently having, that if I will be having people under the visa at the moment, under the company at the moment, then somebody may just get crazy and say, Miss Lizzie, can you show us where your staff are staying? And that is what has been cracking my head. So if I don't answer you immediately on what my license is about, no offense, it's because there is still a lot of things to be taken care of that I still have to go the process before I can come here online and give you any credible update or give you anything tangible. I wouldn't want to come out here and just open my mouth and talk on something that is hardly researched, hardly true, hardly credible, or something like that. Now, this is the cost to expect, regardless of any license that you are taking. I mentioned almost 12 types of licenses at the beginning of the bulletin. So if you are joining me now, thank you very much for joining, but you may have to play back to know the type of licenses that I have already mentioned there. What do you need to pay when you're getting a license? Of course, you will pay for the license fee. This depends on how big your company is. So the minimum that I learned about was 7,000 dirhams just for the license, 7,000 dirhams, and this one goes for the cleaning services. So any other type of license, of course, is above this and will be a lot more expensive. What else do you need to pay? You need to pay a court agreement. Now, court agreement is between you as an individual. I'm now addressing the foreigners who like to open a company in Dubai. The court agreement is between you as the establishment owner and the local sponsor. You understand already that you cannot just start a business except there is a sponsor who also accepts to have their name on your trade license, like what I did. So no, any company can be opened without the endorsement of a local, that is an Emirati person. Okay. You need to pay them something called a sponsorship fee, and this one depends on how greedy or considerate the person is. So if the person is the type that they want to have a lot of money, of course they will tell you my sponsorship fee is much. And of course the sponsorship fee is totally dependent on the size of the company, because even for them it's a gamble. Should you do anything stupid, like maybe take a loan and say you want to maybe better the company or upgrade or anything and run away with the money, this local guy is responsible for your head. So the bigger the size of your company, the more they will demand in terms of the sponsorship fee. Now, the next amount is called ijari. Ijari, if I translate it directly, it simply means rental. I think for those of you who speak Swahili, this may make sense because it's a word that you can actually relate to. Now, ijari is rental space for the office. So normally they give you this if you have no intention of setting up an office immediately. Understand this part. If you don't have the intention of setting up an office immediately, then you get to pay ijari. Now, what does this ijari mean? It means if you have to handle anything official for the company, then you can use the office space of your sponsor. All right, remember your sponsor is the local guy and you are opening a company without an immediate need for an office. Maybe you're still settling 1 or 2 things in the background. If you have any official document or official meeting to have, then you can always use their space and they charge you accordingly for that. Now, the minimum amount to be paid for ijari is 3,000 dirhams per year. This is the only realistic charge that I have seen so far. It goes to about 270 per month. Yeah, 3,000 into 1 year, I don't know. It's about 250, yeah, about 250 per month. The next payment is the immigration card. For those of you who are in the administrative arm of any company, you have seen a greenish card. Do I have mine printed over here? I think I don't have it printed over here. You must have seen a very greenish card. It's called the establishment card. Now, if you have your license without your establishment card and you're trying to procure anything in the name of the company, you understand that it will be rejected. I'm trying to look for the establishment card. I'm sorry, guys. I got acquainted to so many papers within this process that, hey, my head is not functioning as it should. I think the age is also kicking in. I can't find that too. I'm really sorry, but you can find the establishment card. Is a very, very important card. It's equally important as the license. Without an establishment card, you cannot get maybe internet set up in the office. Without establishment card, you cannot finalize on your quotations or invoices or receipts or something like that. You cannot even open a bank account for your company with your company name without an establishment card. So having explained this in depth, you understand how important this specific card is. Now, what I have not received mine. Normally it takes up to a month. So once I receive mine, of course, I will be back here to tell you. And you know that. What is the next payment? Labor card. Now, labor card is more into people of services. Labor card goes for people that do, you know, the types of jobs that need their help, the types of jobs that are risky. You need, let's say, a labor card for someone who works in construction side. You need maybe a labor card for someone who works in a food environment. But if you're an accountant, you don't need a labor card. If you are a lawyer, you don't need a labor card. With this description, I hope I made it clear on the type of scenarios whereby a labor card is required. What else? There is a memorandum of understanding. Now, I did not understand why we need a memorandum of understanding and pay for it. By the way, the amount is standard, is 212 dirham. You need a memorandum of understanding and you also need a court agreement. And it's just you and this local sponsor who accepts to have the visa or the trade license, so he becomes your sponsor. Why would you have two agreements and pay separately for each of them? Like for my case, the memorandum of understanding was 212, and I asked the lady at the court and she told me that this is a standard price. Thank God it's the only thing that will not be disapproved. You understand? Anytime you get a rejection for anything, it means you have to pay a second time so that you boost the economy, or so that you get it a second time. That is how it works. I don't know why things keep getting rejected the first time, the second time, and then the third or fourth time it is now approved. And you are the same person. All factors are kept constant. Nothing has changed, but you get rejected. You pay again, apply again, rejected. You pay again, apply again, and it's now approved. This is a business corridor that some of us have had to go through in terms of sustaining the economy of the country. But what can we do? We are already expatriates who are here, and we are ambitious enough, and we are just hungry for success, and that is why we have to put up with some of these things. I know I'm speaking for so many of us by saying we are success hungry, that we overlook things that really, really oppress us. That is the truth. Now, moving on swiftly, there is a civil company contract. I did not know what this means. I did not know how I'm attached to this. I did not know. But I tried to search it online. There is nothing really. I think this civil contract is whereby, you know, you have a contract with your staff, and if you do something to offend them, then they can go to a civil court and report you and say, our employer has done 1, 2, 3. Our employer is not keeping her bargain of the company. Hey, I almost said his, and I remembered. Oh my goodness, I almost said his. Hey, I apologize to myself. Her employer. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that has been duly corrected. The next payment we have is the license amount, which depends on how big your company is. And then there is reservation fees. Now, reservation fees is for reserving a name. Normally, when you're starting the company, they will tell you, give us like 5 or 6 names, and we will check if there is anybody else who has the same name, then you can't get this name. So prepare the names. And then they will check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, maybe the 6th one doesn't have somebody who has patented it. What is patenting? Patenting is registering a trademark, is registering and saying, this is mine. Let's say QTV by Lizzie Njoga, I will very soon patent it so that nobody else can come and masquerade and say QTV by Lizzie Njoga is mine. You understand? So if I now want to reserve QTB by Lizzie Njoga as an establishment, I have to pay reservation fees. Can you imagine? This is a YouTube channel that I've used since. If I want to patent it now, I have to pay. How much is the amount? Again, 600 dirhams. 600 dirhams. Moving on to the next, there is the innovation dirham fees. Innovation dirham fees. So innovation, in my understanding of English, is to just be creative. And Dubai is a creative city. So whether you like it or not, they will charge you because they are creative and you must pay for it. Yes, you must pay for their creativity. Aside from going to Dubai Frame and paying for entrance, aside from going to the Global Village and paying for entrance, aside from going to Ferrari World and paying for entrance, aside from paying to Dubai Parks and Resort, literally everywhere you will go, you have to pay an entree fee before you can behold the beauty of what they are showcasing in there. And that's not enough. They still need you to pay for the innovation. I came face to face with that. But generally, as a normal consumer, I have not interacted with this. I think maybe I interacted with it in terms of the VAT that we pay for any purchases that we make nowadays, since I think the beginning of 2016. Is it 2016 or 2017 we are paying the VAT? So yeah, that is it. There is the innovation dirham fee, which is 100 dirham. Now we go to the most amazing one. It's called the government cultural fees. I asked, what is this payment for? And my sponsor told me, you have to pay it. And I was like, I have no choice. I've already paid you 15,000 dirhams. I don't want to get stuck at 100. But what is it? Nobody gave me a response, but we ended up paying for it anyway. At that time, we are still in the process, step by step. If you are joining me now, oh my darling, welcome, welcome. Do you know I've been looking out for you? I've been looking out for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I have already shared most of everything. The playback option is available for you, so please make use of the technology. Please make use of it. And now we are going to the trade name registration. So first of all, you go for the name approval. You pay money. Let's say I have decided my company is going to be called Lizzie Njoga. All right. So we say Lizzie Njoga Company. To reserve this name, I have paid. To get approval for it, so reserving it means they have already checked. There is no any other company in the world that have the name Lizzie Njoga, or rather, is it in the world or just in UAE? They have checked and they have ascertained that indeed there is no any other company that have this name Lizzie Njoga. So I have reserved that name. I tell the Dubai economy, let nobody come and take this name. I have paid money for reserving this name. And then I come back tomorrow and I say, surely I am going for this name. Now it goes for approval. It goes for approval. Somebody has to take 1 whole week to decide whether you deserve that name for your company or not. I had to wait for 5 days. And they are telling me, according to the sponsor, you are lucky, it only takes 5 days. I'm like, what? To use my own name that is in my official documents for the name of my company, I have to pay twice and wait for 1 week and be lucky? God punish the devil. Anyway, moving on to the next thing is the trade name registration. So this is the third payment for the same thing, if you are following me closely. This is the third payment for the very same thing of having your name on the license. Now, I have covered most of the items you need to know. That is the Ijari, the sponsorship, the immigration card, the labor card, the administrative fees, the court agreement, the civil company contract, the license amount, the reservation fees for your name, the innovation fee, the government cultural fee, the trade name registration, and much more. Here we are talking about roughly 19,000 dirhams. And now, as the owner of the company, I am coming. Where did I write the next? Yeah, I've been writing all these things because my book is finishing. Yeah, I am so obsessed with giving you crisp information. So I write them. I had put a pen here somewhere. Yeah, we move to the very tricky part. It's called the investor visa, or the partner visa, or the owner visa. This thing. I'm telling you, they will size you, they will call you to court, they will call you to police station. I've personally been going to the police station like 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6 times until I start to feel like I'm a criminal. There is even a lady there who maybe by now she knows me because the number of times I'm sent there. See, guys, I'm looking for the procedure for my visa. Yes, I didn't find it, but I remember it. The procedure for the visa of an owner, this is entirely the same. It's bundled up together. It's bundled up together with the license. So there is no way you can finish the license and not have an owner visa or investor visa or a partner visa. Now, you are required to go for police clearance. You are required to go for medical twice. You are required to get certificate of good conduct attested back from home and here. You are required, depending on the professional license that you opt to go for, you are also required to prove that you are sane, that you are not a psycho, that you are not having any kind of mental instability. I was surprised at this. I asked, what is this interview all about? I just want to have a company. I just want to do what I love to do, but do it the legal way by getting a license, because if you don't allow me, I may do it. And then you will arrest me for not doing it the legal way. You understand? Because, like, for example, those people who come to do your nails from the house, they are doing it illegally. And according to the government, if they are caught, they are breaching the law and they can be sued, tried, and be penalized for it. So, after all these procedures for the license, normally it takes a whole lot of time to get your visa. Now, at least for the visa, I will find it. I was so disoriented. I didn't find a lot of things that I needed. So it looks like this. It's just the normal one. It looks something like this. I don't want to move it to your camera because you people are sometimes very people-some. Just kidding. So it takes a whole lot of process. And after the process, for me, I was told that you have to be there while they stamp it. That was the beauty of it. Unfortunately, I could not come out with photos, but it felt really good to just stand there and see them actually paste my visa on my passport. I was like, oh my goodness, I have never got the chance to experience this, because in the previous setups, it's all about the PRO, that is the public relations officer, going to the immigrations, coming back, taking you for fingerprints, this and that. So you don't really get to do hand in hand, or you don't really get to work anything for yourself. Now, if I did not mention at the beginning that this whole procedure is something you do without a lawyer, I intentionally kept it that way so that you don't get confused. All of these things involves you waking up in the morning and going to Tashil or any Amr center or any Tasjil center. All you need is maybe to find a local sponsor, which is very difficult to find someone you trust. It's very difficult. But once you find, you can do all of these things by yourself. You don't need to contract a lawyer. You don't need to know how to speak Arabic. Like me, for example, I was going there and people look at me like I'm out of place. Like, I remember the day I'm going to get the visa stamped. This is where you know that the gender gap is still something very much there. I'm not a feminist. I don't want to abuse the platform by, talking about irrelevant things. But people view you differently as a lady, and you go and stand in this same status. People look at you very, very different. It's like you constantly are reminded that you have to prove something, which I don't like as a black woman. And even my hair is on purpose today. And I think I want to achieve a goal by keeping it like this, to show people that yes, an African woman has the right to be ambitious. Yes, an African woman is smart, is intelligent, is a go-getter, and does not need any dangling of whatever from anyone. They do not need to be assisted. They can actually do it by themselves. And today, I cannot call myself a testimony, but I can feel that I have done something that the world should look at and say, indeed, African girl, black girl has done it, and that is owning a company in Dubai. Now, for those of you who have been asking me about employment, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, because the truth of the matter is that many people are employment freaks more than owning a company freak, more than business freak. Like, for example, you will say today, I started a company. People will just look at you like, and so what? But you go on with the company. You believe in yourself. You try as much as you can to let this empire grow, let it just be big, and then you hire somebody and they congratulate the person you've hired. This is, to me, in my understanding, is an employment mentality, which nothing is wrong with that. And now, to respond to the people that have stormed me on various social media, yes, there will be opportunities, yes, there will be openings, and yes, it takes a lot of work, because the type of license that I have, it will need me to get contracting from other people. And now, how does it work? Any of the big companies that you know about, for example, Emirates, if you don't buy your tickets to travel, Emirates does not have business. If you don't send your cargo, Emirates does not have any business, and therefore cannot pay their staff, and therefore is as useless as a company that did never exist. So the whole concept is starting a company. The whole concept is being able to acquire contracts, being able to acquire businesses, being able to just seal as many deals as you can, and then it is from the deals that you get to pay your staff. So, as you already know, I think there is a lot of people who know me who now want to think that, oh, because of this will happen. If you fit, if you have what it takes, I am not even going to be like hard or anything. If you are what the company needs to go forward, for sure you will be absorbed. Yes, and that is 100%. And in the meantime, is still contractual. It cannot be salary based because I'm just starting up. I'm just somebody who just got fired and decided I'm not giving another person a chance to fire me again. And that's why I'm ending up in this setting of starting a company. So those of you who can patronize, those of you who can market, those of you who can help seal deals, this is the time that I need you. So I need more of those people to inbox me more than the people who are saying please employ me. So that's all I had time for. Thank you for staying with me all this long bulletin. I tried to compress it today. We are just at 40 minutes and we are done. We've covered everything. I think I'm getting better at this, so I compress it. I don't take much of your time. Yeah, give me a pat in the back. I've done it once again. So in case there is any questions, I am free to answer them in the next 10 seconds, or if not, I did not get a sip today. If there are no questions, then that's it. You can always drop them later once you know what exactly you want to ask. And if I know, I shoot the answer. If I don't know, of course, I will be lenient enough to research and to come right back to you with the response on the same. Thank you very Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Kwaku Achampong. Thank you so much for having joined me here. I am almost done. It's when I'm seeing you. I really do appreciate your presence. If there is any questions, you can always drop them by so that I don't take your whole Saturday afternoon. Do have a lovely weekend and be blessed. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.